All right, welcome so much to the Diaspora Opportunities Media. And today we are going to be discussing about entrepreneurship, and we are calling it the captain in the marketplace.
Right.
Yeah, as earlier, during the off-peak, you were talking about what happens in the school versus what happens in reality.
Yes.
How many people in entrepreneurship,
Right.
are they doing it right?
Yes.
What is the missing link?
Yes.
So some of these things, since you have been an entrepreneur for a long time,
Yes.
can you share some insights?
Yes. Thank you, John, for hosting me. Again, Munga Simon is my name. I'm a seasoned entrepreneur. I've been in the marketplace for substantial years, almost 20 years. And as you have correctly said, the biggest headache for every entrepreneur, it is to unpack what they've been taught in school or what is in the theory into reality, because you find sometimes what you study and what you read, once you get to the marketplace, you realize that you find maybe the ball game is quite different. And if it is not different, you find that maybe the way the ball is shot or is shot to you, it's not the same angle that maybe you're expecting, and so it becomes a headache. But we are not saying that there is no possibility of becoming a good entrepreneur or a better entrepreneur. The videos are there to make it happen, and from my experience, I want to believe that mentorship is the best window of entrepreneurship.
Wow, thank you for mentioning about mentorship, because looking at even the Kenyan and demographic,
Right.
in the next 20 years, Africa will be having the bulge of the youth.
Yes.
And the young people, as young people now, what can you advise? How they leverage on the entrepreneurship skills that they have learned? So what kind of wisdom nuggets can you be able to give to the young people?
Yes, I can first go back to our education system, because the training of our education system, it is to embrace our young people into the marketplace for employment. But we thank God that in Kenya, the CBC has just come to resolve this issue. However, when we release our young people in the marketplace, as you correctly say, we should teach them on how to identify problems and how to create solutions. Because once you're able to identify a problem and then you get a solution to it, automatically you're able to create an income stream to it. However, if you step out in the marketplace just to look for money, people have money to spend. Everybody you find, everyone has money, but you can only get their money as long as you give them a solution to the problem they are looking to solve. So, number one is to help our children or our young people just to open up their eyes and their ears to the marketplace and identify the gaps or the problems that are there. Once they are able to identify the problem, presumably if someone is looking, like for example, because the different sectors of the economy, assume someone is looking at finance, for example, and like the M-Pesa guy, this guy, he only thought and realized, if I'm in Nairobi and my mother is in the village of Muranga and I want to send her money, the only best possible way I could have done, it is either I live here, I go to Muranga, or I get someone who is going home, I put that money in an envelope and I give him or her, or I look for a matatu that goes home and I put this money in an envelope and send. That was the only way. You can imagine. And that was not only sending money to the other end, but this guy realized, because we have a phone and my mother, how then can we be able, if we can be able to talk What other solutions can we, because talking is voice.
Yes.
That is one way. What other solution then can we be able to get from the same gadget and make sure that we are able to bring these people closer or solve more problems? And so M-Pesa solution was born. And many other things that are skirting around this. So that is one example. So number one is to identify. We need to teach our children on how to identify problems and create solutions, not to run away from problems.
Yes.
Because problems is what creates people. Because you don't make money because of what you do, you make money because of what you become. So you need to invest more in becoming more than doing. Because as long as you have become, like for example, and allow me to use this example, would you think one day William Ruto not driving, or Uhuru Kenyatta not driving, or not having a car at any given time? No. Because already he has become. You don't expect him not even to drive, even the car he drives, because he has become.
Yes.
So we need to invest in our children or in our young people. They invest themselves in becoming, because once you become, automatically then you create traction. Because entrepreneurship is not about chasing money. It's about client chasing you for solutions, and out of that you make money.
Wow, very powerful points. And I've gathered that we need to become, but even when we look at the ecosystem, the young people who will be the buyers, because we are talking about entrepreneurship and business people, we need to sell. We need to make the sales at the end of the day. So given that the market, the people who will have the purchasing power in the next 10 years, right now they are in their 18s and 17s. So there's a lot of money to be made in the next 10 years,
right? In
the next 20 years.
Yes.
But there are some of the challenges that we face, including lack of access to capital,
right?
Lack of money, lack of mentorship,
yes,
as you rightly put it. So according to your experience and how far you've come, what are some of the challenges that you faced, and how did you approach? Because I believe there's no one single solution to that, but the approach, what can you advise in terms of
number one is, before I respond to the challenges, let me first say that every generation and every season come with its own benefits and its own challenges. Every season has its challenges and benefits. And it's clear in the Word of God for believers. The Bible says that our children shall be great in the land, and they shall be solution givers to their generation. What it means, in every generation, there are solutions to give. Kenyatta's time, even people think that Kenyatta time things were better because they could get those big chunk of land and all those. But there were challenges then. Moist time there were challenges, and every season or leadership comes with challenges. And so I think I can say the challenges are there because first, before you identify what the solution, because you might identify a solution or a problem that you think is a solution to everyone, but maybe it can only give solution to one or two people. Yeah. So the first thing is to make sure that you identify a challenge that has many people has a problem, create a solution, and that's how you.
Wow.
Because if you identify a problem of two people and you solve their problem, your
problem is over.
Your earning stops there. So what you need is to identify a challenge that has a mass.
Masses.
Has masses. And then again, you give a solution towards the masses, and then you make a living. It's not easy because again, also masses come with different metrics and the way they look at, and even maybe before they accept that the solution you are providing, that it will definitely give them solutions. But again, now the issue of persistence come, and the consistency come, and also believing in yourself, because before you can't give what you don't have. So you must be convinced that the solution that you're providing, that it can really work. You must convince yourself first. That is why even when we teach young people about marketing, and we tell them to go and market, we tell them first you must believe in the product or the service you are selling.
Yes.
Because if you don't believe in it, it becomes very difficult for you to convince the other party that the product or the service can work.
Wow, very great insights. I mean, but my takeout from that is that we need to generate ideas that are able to solve problem that is affecting masses.
Right.
Because I think the numbers are very, very good advice. So sometimes as young people, we find that you have this great idea, but you don't even know how to package it, to start, and where to get the basic support.
Right.
Like what you just said, that it takes a bit of learning curve. It's tough at the beginning, and that's why I believe you talked about persistence and this resilience. So what kind of mental preparedness, and in terms of packaging, can you just prepare us for the entrepreneurship journey? Maybe somebody somewhere who has a brilliant idea, but the idea is still in their head, but they strongly believe that this idea will be able to solve a particular problem, but now where do I go from there?
Greatness is not for easy people. And it's said, where there is a way, where there is a will, there is a way. And especially for this generation, see technology, and I appreciate DOM for this kind of a forum, whereby if you have an idea, today you can go online and do heavy research, both local and international, and see how to package yourself and how to unpack some of these things, because it is a personal responsibility to see comparatively how other people maybe who have come with such unique ideas or close to such ideas, how they have packed it. Because when you identify a problem, automatically or already you don't identify a problem without having a clue of how the solution will come around. And so the issue of the package and other things come along. You might not have an end-to-end solution, but the step of faith in every walk of life is quite profound. So as long as you make the first step, number one is to put whatever you are doing into perspective. Put it in writing. Whatever comes into you, just put it in writing. And that is why we talk about the business plan. So if you go to online, you shall be able to see how business plans are done. So you can be able to download a template, and then you can now be able to factor in your ideas in it. Yeah.
Yes.
And then from there, because the business plan also it shows you how to roll out a clear rollout program. And you see, number two, you need to be very patient, because you cannot, if sometimes when you rush some of these ideas, that's how you miss the market. So you need also to know at what time, because there is what we call time of appearance. Not every time that you appear, that is the right time. Sometimes you might have a very brilliant idea, but you push it in the time of appearance and you miss out. You might also delay in times in appearing. So you need to do a clear balancing act just to know exactly when you can be able to make maybe your product. Don't talk much. sometimes you need to have time with yourself when you are doing these things. Sometimes, in most cases, we miss out the mark of life because you think about simple things, you shout to your friends and you shout, and so you don't have time even you to conceptualize and to get convinced that it can work. Sometimes it's become, that is why where many forces come out, you find the place is very quiet. It's because sometimes you need that silence just to be able to get the very best power.
Wow. Oh, from what I have gathered with these interviews, that for young entrepreneurs, you need to think about solutions that affect masses in big numbers. Do your research, use the internet to do your research, know the problem that you are solving, and know when to start. And you need to put it down in writing, have patience and persistent, because also to get the right timing. Wow, these are very, very good wisdom nuggets from our seasoned entrepreneur, Mr. Munga. Thank you so much for attending the show. And I know we have gathered a lot of knowledge and wisdom. And thanks so much. I've been your host, John Maina. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless.